What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Rip City Rundown, and we'll have a little change of pace on this podcast today. We usually like to keep it pretty professional, talk about what the Blazers are doing well, and today it's the complete opposite. We're going to talk about how bad the Blazers have been recently. We're just going to rant today, and we'd love to talk about something good, but there's been nothing good for a few weeks now, so it's really going to be a negative podcast. We might be a little unprofessional. We might have some hot takes. It's going to be an emotional one, so bear with us. We're probably overreacting. We'll probably look at this in 30 plus games and be like, remember when we were 11-11? Yeah, whatever. We made the playoffs. Yeah, or remember when we were 10-4 and we choked? Yeah, we're going to look back on this with memories. But in the meantime, in the moment, we're all heated. Cody, you want to share me some thoughts just off the top?
I am just infuriated that right now because this team gave me so much excitement. We go 10-4, hottest start in the NBA. We are the 1 seed. And look at me. I'm looking like a clown right now. Last two podcasts, I was like, we're gonna get 50 wins. We're gonna be a 5 seed at worst.
Tough take.
We're gonna be a 5 seed at worst. That was me. Maybe I just look like a clown right now. And I'm just so mad. I mean, we go from 10-4, and now we are officially 500 out of. It just doesn't make sense. The statistics don't make sense. How you can have that hot of a start and poop the bed that bad, and go 11-11. So,
you want to know what statistic makes sense?
What statistic makes
sense?
The
fact that we have a really bad roster on the floor as we speak, as we're watching this Lakers game. Our depth, I think our depth kind of fooled us. Our depth is not that good. Like, for all of us saying, like, do we really need to change at the trade deadline? Do we really need to go out and get somebody to help us our depth? Yeah, we do. I know we're missing Dame and Josh Hart and Nasir and Gary Payton II and Keon Johnson.
But again, outside Dame and
Gary
Josh Hart, like Keon, bro, really? What's his deal? I swear,
I thought.
Why are we load managing?
When he first went out, it was like he's questionable for a game, and then they were like, "All right, he's been downgraded to out. He's day to day," and it's been 2 weeks or maybe even 3 weeks since we've heard anything.
Yeah, it's been rough. I don't know how we want to structure this. Really,
I really don't think there's a structure.
I was just gonna kind of just go from player to player, and I think everyone outside of Jeremy Grant deserves criticism for this absolutely horrific stretch. We're probably have one of the worst records in the past 10 games. And let's just start off with the simple fact of this is what really frustrates me. Our lineups right now are our best lineup. Simons, Winslow, Nurk, Grant, and
Watford.
It's usually Hart. We'll say Hart. Oh. It's Hart. It's Hart when he's healthy. You have 2 shooters on the floor. So guess what? When the ball is passed to the corner and it's Justice Winslow, great, Cody. Thank you so much for that update. That made my night. Anyway,
keep going.
When Simons is getting in the lane and doing everything he can, we can start with Simons. Simons, he's been playing well, but I feel like he hasn't shot the ball well. That's all I'm going to say about Simons because this is his team right now.
He's very inconsistent.
He's very inconsistent, but he's not supposed to be the number one option. And honestly, it's been Grant. That's why I'm not criticizing Grant. I'm criticizing just, I guess it's lack of roster depth to an extent. Like, we have 0 3-point shooters outside of like Hart can't shoot. Justice Winslow.
Whatever happened? Hold up. Whatever happened to the Josh Hart that dropped 44 last year and was hitting step back and pull up threes? Like, gain that confidence again. I know you're not going to. I'm not asking for 44. I'm just asking for a confident jumper.
Yeah, true.
You're looking like, I don't even know. Like,
Nurk can't shoot. I mean, it's just bad. So the structure of the offense without Dame is really bad, especially when Simons can't get it going. Grant's been hot all year. and that doesn't concern me because I think he can maintain it somewhat. But he's gonna have some bad games, and when Grant's having bad games, and especially if Dame's still out, you don't have a prayer. So honestly, this team should be better than the Tankathon team last year because you actually have Grant to go with Simons now. But I swear every game is another guy who's injured or knocked. And it's like, guess what? You're not 10-4. You don't have the luxury to sit around and be like, oh, I don't, I'm a little sore. I'm going to sit out this game. Like, I don't know why we're taking that approach. I mean, especially if it's like a dude who you're just going to trade at the deadline anyway. It's like, I guess you want to protect their health. I don't know. I'm spewing right now.
I'm not quite in that boat to where like the injuries are just gonna, like, if they sit out, they sit out. I would rather them sit out than do what Dame did. And I guess, like, who knows? He might have rushed back too quickly, which caused his calf to get re-aggravated again. But at the end of the day, like, not having Dame and Lillard is why we stink. Like, it's exposing our lack of depth. And obviously Dame masks that a ton when he's playing. But I think we should have beat the Clippers last night. I think that's the most inexcusable loss we've had this whole year because they were missing a ton of people too. But I can't expect a team that's starting Trendon Watford. Like, that's a Tankathon team.
I got a quick question. Genuinely. So if the basket was the Pacific Ocean and Nurkic was standing on the beach, you think he could score?
Oh, wow.
Okay, I want to go into Nurkic because, like, I don't know if it's just
dude.
an obvious thing, but like, he's actually, the eye test tells me he's really good when he is finishing with his right hand. He is so bad going back.
He can't. Yeah, he can't.
He can't. He literally can't. And Anthony Davis exposed that tonight. It's been exposed throughout, but like, Anthony Davis continually, he's probably still doing it as we speak, just eating Nurkic alive. He forced him left, and Nurk is just like lost. For all those people that say like,
boys, it's down to 15.
Nurk is like, oh my gosh,
very inconsistent. What really just ticks me off is like here was just the start of the losing. Like, we drop 2 home games, Brooklyn, Utah, where we expect W's, Milwaukee, Cleveland, fine. Those are hard teams on the road. And then we squeak out an overtime win against New York Knicks. Why are we even going to overtime against New York?
We should have lost that game.
Loss against Brooklyn again. And then we get this game at home, gift wrapped. The win is gift wrapped. It has some ribbons on it. Okay, we have Kawhi out, PG out, John Wall out, Luke Kennard out. It's literally a free dub. It's at home. Like, it is the most beautiful, precious present.
And by the way, they give us an 18-point lead in the third quarter.
Yeah, and they just give us an 18-point lead in the third. It's just a beautiful, and we somehow.
Well,
I mean, look, I'm mad about.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why we lost this game.
What game?
You get outscored by
the first one or the
Norman Powell. The Clippers game. You get outscored by Norman Powell himself in the fourth quarter. And Norman Powell and Robert Covington, who each couldn't hit anything in Portland, go a combined 7 for 9 from 3. That's just like, it's so dumb. Norman Powell has 32 points on 10 of 16 shooting. And I mean, other than him, like, everyone else just played. It's just the Blazer guys that killed us. Absolutely killed us. And we got cold at the end. They got hot. And it's super annoying. Because especially when it's like a former Blazer, and a former Blazer who didn't perform well. Did Robert Covington perform well in Portland for 2 first-round picks?
No. We see what Jeremy's doing for one.
I don't think. Yeah, exactly. Jeremy's outplaying him. I mean, Norm is good. Norm is just undersized, but that was.
Can we just analyze how Can we just analyze how just dog our wings are now? Like, that were on our team previous. Like, Rocco is almost out of the rotation. Norman Powell's having his worst season in a while.
He's good enough to go 3 or 4 from 3. Though.
Harkless isn't in the league. Like, Alan Crabb's not in the league. Like, I don't freaking know. I don't know. It's just.
Well, I mean, then you have tonight. You got Reeves going for 22 on really good shooting.
Like, we were literally all
Watanabe, Wanatabe. I don't know how you say his name. He's leading the league in 3-point percentage right now, I believe.
The Blazers were all in with Rocco and Norm. They were all in. That was our team the last 2 years ago. We were all in with that. And now look where they are. It's just kind of shows how bad our previous acquisitions were. But yeah, this year I would have expected us to be better. It just doesn't make sense. You can start off that hot and suck this bad.
I'm just as mad as you guys because of the fact that it's not like we're losing to Cavs and Bucks. We're now losing to a Lakers team that is terrible and a Clippers team that was actually missing.
But can I just before you ask the question, I genuinely think we're also just in a rut because you have Russell Westbrook hitting half court shots at the end of quarters. That's 6 points. This game would be a 7-point game right now, late. We're here, but no.
Yeah.
That happens. You got Norm going for 22 and a quarter, and sure, you can blame defense. Sure, was the defense good? No, but also it's you can count on one hand the time Norm's going to score 20 and a quarter in his freaking career. His career.
He never has.
Exactly.
No, but I was just going to say, obviously our expectations were kind of changed because we saw what this team could be in the first 14 games. But if I told you at the beginning of the season that Gary Payton II wouldn't step on the floor, Damian Lillard would have missed half the games. You would have Simons, Grant, everyone will at some point miss one or two, and we're still 11-11.
Look, I know you're
big. Good way to look at it.
I know you're a big perspective guy. It's a healthy mindset, but at the same time, it's I saw you post this on Instagram too, and people responded accordingly. They were it's not. Yes, you would take it, but the way it's happened, it's if you were just middling 500 all year, but
the way it's happened is the only reason we're losing all these games is. It's not like we're losing these games with Damian Lillard.
I'm just saying it'll look different if we were just win, lose, instead of go 10-4, have all these unrealistic expectations because you are playing at an unrealistic level, and then all of a sudden you come crashing back down to earth and you look like a team that might not get in the plan.
And do you think we're going to look like that when Dame comes back?
I hope not, but
I don't think so,
he's got to come back.
What are we, 7-2?
He's got to come back. He's got to come back.
I know, and he's projected to come back. What? One more game without him?
Well, how do we know? I mean, it's taken Gary Payton II 3 months to get his conditioning right. Apparently.
Yeah. Are we
unbelievable?
I feel like
get healthy.
I
hate injuries.
We're load managing maybe a little too much. No one has
I don't think we're load managing necessarily. I just think it's. Look, Blazers the Blazers and injuries just they're said in the same sentence way too often for my liking.
This is what can't happen. Our team thinks we're good. We're 10-4, and this is what happened. I think our team's 10-4, and we're all right, we're good. We can probably rest some guys. Basically, if we weren't 10-4, I don't think as many players would have sat out the games that they did. I'm just saying, can we just get a good seed? Can we just make the playoffs before we talk about resting anyone? And I know some of these injuries are legit, but back.
No, James is legit. Gary Payton's coming off surgery. I do think they're being super cautious with him for whatever reason. I feel like if he was needed badly to play, he could play. But that's the one that I just kind of look at with a confused look. The other ones are just Knox and little.
Nurk could have played every game this
season.
Yeah, but Nurk in those games where we had that stretch of people randomly just popping up on the injury report and sitting out, those were the games we won. Those were the games on the road trip.
Yeah, but that's. But also those games, we beat New Orleans because we shot the ball certainly well. They didn't. We lost to Dallas because Spencer Dinwiddie hit 4 threes in the span of 40 seconds. It's doesn't. NBA is good enough where any team can beat anybody on a given night. I don't care if it's the 70. I mean, obviously the 73-9 Warriors lost to us that year, and we just shot the piss out of the ball in that game, and that's why they lost. So when it just keeps happening. It's happened for 5 games now. It's some role player on another team just getting hot, and you don't have any star power on the floor already. Grant he's getting there. Simons is getting there, but when You're going up against a Nets team and you're trying to slow down Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, and Ben Simmons is hounding Simons, and Seth Curry scoring 30, Norman Powell scoring 32. It's like, what are you gonna do?
I
What are you gonna
know.
do?
Like, what are you gonna
It's a
do?
make or miss league. Yeah, I know, but that's why it's so annoying, is because like it's just the NBA is just, this is me just mad at the NBA in general. It's just sometimes the regular season is really hard to watch because it's just, did I make the corner three tonight or did I miss the corner three tonight?
You want to know what's wild about the fact like we're getting smacked tonight? Winslow's 3 of 3 from 3. I just saw.
Yeah, and it feels like he's airballed all of them.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're giving up 125 to the Lakers.
And like most of our losses, I will say, they're pretty close games. Like we don't get blown. We haven't gotten blown out, that many times this season. But we also, all our wins are close too. Have a little statistic here. We have 2 wins this entire season. 2 wins where we've won more than 11 points. Like that is just not good. And every game, win or loss, is just, it's a close game. I don't know. I feel like we should, even early on, should have been taking it harder against these bad teams. But now we can't even beat bad teams. So I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But
We are the bad team.
yeah, we are the bad team now.
I'm
Other teams are
kidding.
like, oh, we're playing the Trailblazers tonight.
Hey,
Nice.
you know what's funny is I said I would officially change my expectations and be all in on this season if the Blazers got to 20 wins before 10 losses. That did not happen. It was not even close. So I'm not all in on this season. I do not necessarily believe in this team yet because look, this is low key what it could look like in the playoffs. I mean, teams are going to do everything they can to take Dame away.
Yeah, but that's a little different than like right now they're doing everything to take Simons away. Like
that's fine, but Simons needs to be more consistent for me.
All right,
No, that's
I'm gonna
like,
ask you guys a question.
I think hold up. I think it's really hard for Simons to be consistent right now. And I'm just playing like devil's advocate in all these conversations because I'm a
diehard Blazer fan. I'll give every excuse in the book. I'm just gonna rant right now because I'm mad.
I think that when your role is changing, like he started off playing next to Damian Lillard, obviously majority more catch and shoot and off ball. And then he's said for 6 games, now you're the star. Now back to this Dame out, and then like that's
fine. I don't know if that argument has merit for me because he literally did it for like 30 games last year.
Did what?
Our whole team
was the star.
I know, but this entire offseason he's shifted.
Yeah, but you're a professional player, dude. Like Norman Powell is the star all of a sudden the Clippers game. He was able to score 32 and
he's extremely
us
inconsistent. That's the first time he's had one good game this year.
He had a good game against us.
That's stupid.
Okay, well that
what's
leads
stupid about that?
No, I know, but like
I don't buy the argument of, oh my gosh, let's cut him slack because his role's changing. That's just the life of an NBA player. You have to be Jabari Walker. Sometimes sits, sometimes he plays.
Yeah,
like everyone's role is. I don't buy the role.
Give me a date. Okay, give me a date. I want a time when your guys' guess where our team will, because that's what needs to happen. Everyone has a new role every night. No one knows what they're doing because everyone's hurt. Sometimes Nurk's hurt. Sometimes Dame's hurt. Who wants to be hurt tonight? Who sign up for the injury report? Write your name down. Write your name down. Who wants to sit out tonight and eat some donuts in the hotel room? Anyway, give me a date where Gary Payton, Damian Lillard, Jeremy Grant, Simons, and Nurk will all play a game together. Give me a date. Does it happen in 2022? Give me a date.
2 weeks, December 15th. I don't know if we have a game that day or anything.
Actually, I checked the Blazers schedule. Grant's going to be out with a right calf strain on December 15th. That's good. It's unbelievable. That's a good question though, which is funny because I don't know, like you see the Clippers do this, see the Nets do this, the Warriors even, where you rest guys, and we're not resting; they're actually hurt, so it's fair. But it's just like we're not in that tier of teams. We're like, obviously, you want to protect long-term health. So I feel like I'm talking like an idiot because I'm comparing injuries to actual load management, but it's just frustrating. It's really frustrating not have the players on the floor that you need.
Yep.
So yeah.
Also, this randomly popped in my head. Why do we suck at the beginning of the game every single time? Every game. We're 28th in the league in first quarter points. Can you guys?
Ironically, we started off good tonight.
I know, but still, just in general, can you tell me why we just absolutely suck in the first quarter? I mean, if you played sports before, you know that mentality going into the first quarter feels different than any other time in the game, obviously, but still, it's not like this small sample size like it is the whole season, 20 whatever games we're into now, and we're the worst team in the first quarter. One of them,
my
why does that
guess
make
would
sense?
be my guess would be two reasons. One is just like, especially with Dame out, like Simons maybe kind of forces it at the start of the game, try to get going. And the other one would be we tend to look to Nurk early in games, and we obviously know he can't finish worth anything. So that ball's not going in the basket.
I think
Well,
I think
Chauncey,
it's just we flat out just we kind of stink. Like I don't like who's gonna shoot. We have three people to shoot, two people to shoot the ball. Like for all this talk about like Josh Hart going out and like being some creator, like it's kind of died recently. And then maybe it's a coaching
He
thing.
just
Like
looked
maybe
weird.
Chauncey's a lot better at just like in-game adjustments than set up for games. Who knows?
Josh Hart's looked weird, man. He does not look like himself, really.
Yeah.
Not in
Oh
like
wait,
an
we
injury
officially
way.
lost.
Oh yeah, that's.
Sorry,
I
I
knew
just
that
have to.
2 hours ago.
I have to make the post.
You're good, Cody. We'll have a little fun conversation about Josh Hart. What is Josh Hart's problem right now?
So when he shoots the basketball, it's actually not going into the circle like last year. No, I don't know. I think his role is so much different as a player this year than last year. I mean, last year we were tanking, and he was
Fifth option.
so much of a more offensive threat, and now it's
He
like
has no role.
his role is not to score. His he does. It's just to play
Yeah. But like he's the
transition, but
fifth option on offense. Yeah, I feel like teams are also starting to catch like this is that as the season goes, this is that cat and mouse game that happens with like film and stuff. Like you put 10 games on the tape, Josh Hart is just best player in the league in like transitions. And then all of a sudden defenses adjust and he's like turning the ball over in transition now. And it's just like,
I
and
mean,
now they're leaving you space for three because they know you're not going to shoot. And
honestly,
it's not about making it. You just got to be confident. Just take it. Make the defense respect you.
we should go back in time and go back to our old play style. Just let Dame ISO offense. Wait,
No.
Wait, how can you do that?
I'm kidding.
Dame
But
ISO on
at
the
the same
bench?
time, when I think about that, what was our strategy? Dame's going to score on offense, yet we were still the worst defensive team in the league. How does that make sense? Like you would think
Because
you'd be a great defensive team, just like get great defenders around Dame and let Dame do all the work. But Dame was doing all this plus having the worst defensive team in the league. Like
low key, that's kind of I feel like what we are kind of going for this year.
no, our
It's
strategy
like
is way different this year so far. At
no, no,
least.
no. I'm saying like we're trying to have a good defense, and obviously Simons is there to offset Dame a little bit. But yeah, that is interesting. It's because Dame was absolutely carrying the entire offense, so he doesn't have energy to play defense. Teams exploit him. He looks like an absolute horrible defender in pick and roll, and we have to win games in the bubble 162 to 160.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Our structure, the way we're playing this year as a team is way more enjoyable and way more effective and way more gives us a better chance of winning
I
a
got a
championship than the last 2 years.
I got a good question for you. I don't know how to phrase it, but
Yeah.
has more often than not, do the Blazers enhance your life or do they make your life worse?
Enhance my life.
I know.
But now that I think about it, no, I'm kidding. That more positives.
Yeah,
But
I guess you had to think about it a little bit.
I had to think about it. And that was a bold question.
Oh my gosh. I think that Nugget series was one of like the worst times of like
But it was an
my
all-time
sports
rant.
fandom.
It was an all-time rant.
That stunk. But like the thing about this team is like at least the bright side is this isn't our team. Like
That's true.
it's not like last year when like Dame was playing through injury and obviously like the vibes stunk, but like we were like, well, like Dame can get that shot and he could be good for 6 games. Like he'll get a shot in his abs every day. So at least like when Dame comes back, who knows? We could go on a 6-game win streak, and we could be coming into this podcast and say we're going to get 50 wins and we're the 1 seed again. Because at the end of the day, we're 3 games back from the 1 seed or 4 games back. Like,
Yeah, a lot of teams are
it's just
500.
I was saying, like, when you're in these ruts, because every single team is going to go through a rut in the season. It's just a matter of like it's getting too long at this point. Like, pause.
Well, you would have thought, yeah, nice. You would have thought the Clippers game was the not 2 game win streak because we lost to Brooklyn, but that was like a good get right spot. Obviously, I didn't think we're
kind of in the middle of the get right spot.
Back. Yeah,
but then again, we want Dame back. But the last time Dame was back, he was 1 for 12 from 3. No, I'm kidding. But like
he was putting up 4 dates.
He just carries our team, not even just off shooting and
building a house,
just facilitating. He's gonna make the right play every time, despite his turnovers. Let's get that down a little bit, Dame. Limit your turnovers.
Well, the other thing is like when Dame's on the floor, like he's got 5 sets of eyes glued to him, and he's probably got 2 defenders on him when he's coming off a screen, and that leaves Simons going 1-on-1, Grant going 1-on-1, and
Josh.
I think.
Open, so.
Nice. Yeah, you beautiful. But I think that I'll be positive for a little bit here. I do think the Dame, Simons, and Grant trio, if they're like in form rolling into like April, whether it's playing playoffs, hopefully, I think they have a shout for one of the better trios in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Like
especially if you get Jeremy Grant with this shooting,
yeah. It just does show you it goes to show how valuable Damian Lillard is. And that's why it's so unfortunate because like you're talking about his abs and he comes into the season fresh off like surgery, like rehab. And he's like, I've never felt better. I feel 100%. And then he just like has this calf thing. It just goes to show you really can't control a lot of things. Like in order for an NBA team to win a championship, there are a lot of things that need to happen that you can't necessarily control.
Oh yeah. If you like,
and injuries is one of them. Like the Raptors.
I watched something back the other day. Like every single team that's won a championship has like gotten lucky in some form of who they go against when it comes to injuries. We don't need to get into all of it, but it's pretty prevalent. And at the end of the day, it's just which team can stay healthy.
Like that's why we beat the Clippers in 2016.
Yeah. That's why we thought we had a chance against the Warriors in 2019 because KD was out.
Like that was a chance to go.
I do want to throw this out here because just talking about our next 11 games before Christmas and assuming that the Dame like injury, like we've got one more game without him, assuming that report from Chris Haynes is right, and that's a Jazz on Friday, I think.
Do we have a home game?
Who's also going in an absolute tailspin, just like us.
Don't worry.
They'll get their get right spot against us. They're looking at us. They're like, "That's our get back spot."
No. This is so bad, but my mental like thought process with Portland right now is so bad because we're in a rut and I feel like nothing's going our way. Like when Westbrook chucked at half court, I was like, "That's going in." I was waiting for it to go in, and then it goes in, and I just turned the TV off, and I was like, "Send this in."
All right, but we've got 11 games, and you assume that Dame will be there for 8. Maybe because he'll probably end up sitting out 1 or 2 of these games anyway. It's Jazz, Pacers, Timberwolves twice. This is not in order, by the way. I don't think it is. Timberwolves twice, Nuggets twice, Thunder twice, Mavericks, Rockets, Spurs. While there's some good teams in there, like the Wolves stink and they got no Cat, which actually might make it home now.
And Dame will be here.
The Mavs are kind of in our situation.
So are you asking like how I think we'll do in the next?
Not asking how you think we'll do, but I'm just like showing that.
Well, I'll ask. Do you think when we see you, Cody, for Christmas, will the Blazers have a winning record?
Yeah.
Yeah, we will. And here's okay. First of all, I just want to say that this okay. We're about to go 4 games at home: Indiana, Denver, Minnesota. But before that, we play at Utah on Saturday, so we got some time to rest. This is a big game. I know we said today was a big game after that Clippers loss to get some momentum back, but
it goes back to back.
If we win this Jazz game, we will be over 500, going home for a 4-game, pretty easy homestand. Indiana should be a win. Denver, okay, that's kind of hard, but then Minnesota twice. So if we can win this, be over 500, go home, have Dame, I think this Utah game is pretty big, I think. I'm a big momentum swing if we
in
can
the next 11 games, I would like 7-4s. I'll go 8-3. I want 8-3.
I mean,
I mean,
happen.
I want 11-0. Well, here, let me just look at the schedule quick, and I'll give you my predictions. Because imagine like you do this rant pod, we go 8-3, and we're 19-14, and probably in the upper tier of the West. We also got to get off the standings watch at this early in the year. I don't look at the standings.
Agreed. I just kind of look at record in general.
So guess what? That was the month of November. An absolute great start to the month. You know what? This Friday, November 4th, the second game of the month was the Jeremy Grant buzzer beater in Phoenix. Man, what good times.
Wow.
Okay, we go to December. We have 13 games in December. So yeah, we'll just go until Christmas. So we go at Jazz. You know what? Screw it, man. We're gonna win that game. We're gonna win that game.
All right, say it.
Okay, we're gonna win that game. We're gonna beat Indiana
at home.
Dame's
2-0. No way we lose.
I don't think you understand. Like the jolt the team will get when Dame's back. Like
Fine.
It might not be Dame performing well, but you gotta think like you'll get a little more energy in the team.
I think we lose to the Nuggets. It's 2-1.
Yeah.
I think we split with the Timberwolves. That's 3-2.
Yeah.
And then I think we beat the Spurs 4-2. I'm gonna say we beat the Mavericks on the road 5-2. Beat the Rockets on the road 6-2. Screw it. The Thunder suck. We're beating both times on the Thunder. That's 8-2.
Love that.
And we're losing to Denver. It's so funny.
It's just funny. Like we stink right now. We're just like, but the funny thing is, like, I agree with everything you're saying.
You just got a feeling. You just got a feeling.
No, but like games that I don't think we should be losing under any circumstance is the Pacers game, one of the T-Wolves, Spurs, Rockets, and one of the Thunder. That's 5 wins right there. So you're going 5
the twice, bro. We're beating them twice. I don't care.
We probably could. We could beat every team. We could go 11-0, which we won't. But
Rudy and Cat with the Dame pick and roll with him.
Cat.
That's game. Oh yeah, no Cat. He's hurt.
Cat's back at home in Minnesota.
Oh my god! Dang. That was yikes.
Rudy
Gobert, you know, with his $205 million contract, guess how many rebounds he got tonight?
Like 12,
4.
right? 13, 14?
He got 1.
Dang.
Dude, the Timberwolves suck.
I could get more rebounds.
They won though. But
they get the same record as us. Why are we talking crap?
Because we're actually hurt.
Like
Boston's 18-4. Holy frick.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Boston's legit.
That would be
Sacramento's 11-9.
I think you gotta say Boston's just purely just like better by far than Golden State right. Like
I have a good question on this 11-game little sprint to Christmas. Do the Blazers have a 3-game winning streak or 3-game losing streak at any time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's gonna
be winning. I'm assuming
it's gonna be red, unfortunately, not green.
No, it's gonna be green. It's gonna be Jazz. It's gonna be then the Pacers. Who's after the Pacers?
Nuggets.
Nuggets.
Then Timberwolves.
4.
Then Timberwolves.
5.
Then
5 wins in a row. Put 6 wins in a row.
Then Mavs. Then Rockets.
The Rockets. You really think the Rockets are beating us? That's 8.
Okay. Then Thunder.
Easy money. They stink. No chat.
And then at Denver.
Bro, we own Mile High, right?
Bro, we're 22-11 by Christmas.
Come on now. We're gonna be walking into Moda on
I will say
December 26th, and we're gonna be the 1 seed.
Okay, I will say though, you have a break until Saturday. You're in Utah, and then you have a back-to-back second game with the Pacers, and then that's Sunday. You're off until that Thursday. You have 3 days. This is a 2-game season.
Dame's not coming back against the Pacers. Never mind. Why would they put him back in that game?
No. I think they play him against the Pacers. Second night back to back, you get 3 days off.
Actually, yeah.
And you're home.
Test it out a bit.
This is a 2-game season. If we don't get to 13-11, this podcast is over.
Okay, if we go to 11-12, I'm actually deleting the channel.
I love that.
What do you mean? Love that?
But yeah, that's good. I forgot what I was gonna say. I had something good. Dang it.
Sure.
I'm just
ugly mug.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, we got
Yeah.
this new shirt that's about to be dropping soon, and like I can't drop it until we're good again because like no one cares about the Blazers while we stink. So like at this point, the Blazers' success is like
You know what's
hurting
crazy?
us
You know what's
bad.
crazy? The
What?
Spurs were like 5-2 or whatever. They're 6-16.
Ooh.
That is
Wow.
cold. I mean, because Utah fell off. Like they were the one seed, everything. Like we can win. Also, we're just due to win. Like we're just due. Like
We're just doo doo.
we're due to roll a
Okay,
6 eventually.
I'm
Like,
gonna go. Another thing I don't like about this team right now is the shot selection. It sucks.
Yeah.
Like
especially
Simon-
without
No.
Dame.
well, Simons takes tough shots, but he's gonna have to. So that's. But like, I'm not a fan of these.
Passing it
Justice
to the number
Winslow-
27.
Justice Winslow push shots, and I don't know. It's just
I mean,
tough
the thing
shots,
is,
dude. Like,
I feel like
Jeremy Grant, for how good he is, he's got to cut out the 19-footer with hand in his face on a fadeaway.
yeah,
He's
that's
got to kick
not
it to Justice
this-
Winslow
this-
in the corner
but-
who's shooting
well,
25%.
But for Jeremy Grant, like, I'm not going to criticize him. He's been unbelievable. The one thing I'll say is cut out the shots that you would shoot on a team that's trying to tank. I get that we look like a tanking team right now, but we're not. We're not. Okay.
Yeah, it's just
So cut
I
out
feel
the
like
18-foot fadeaways that you hit the side of the
Okay,
backboard.
Wes, my question for you is when he's dribbling in the mid range, who does he kick it to? Genuinely. Who's having a higher percentage to hit a shot than Jeremy? in the
Simons is
mid-range?
guarded. He's probably double teamed, so he can't.
You've
pass
got a
it.
wide open Winslow. You've got a wide open Hart. Ready? This is what Hart does. He's gonna catch it. He's gonna go, and then he's gonna dribble to the lane and might get a foul. He might get a foul, but he
And go
also
1 or
might
2 from the stripe.
jump
Or give
and
to Winslow. Take
do a
that 30%
360,
chance.
kick it to Winslow in the corner, who literally shoots with one hand. So
Mm.
I hate being like this because I'm on the firm side. Like
No. We're fine. I'm a
fine.
Blazer fan. Hey, when they suit up on Saturday, I'll be bleeding red and black.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just
This
I feel
team,
like other teams.
this
it's
team's
too,
good.
It's too, I guess. Like we're the 12th rated
Look,
offense.
look. Watanabe, or however I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name. He went off. You're like, okay, that's a little fishy. Seth Curry goes off, a little fishy. Okay, Norman Powell, you're like, okay, surely this is the end of the line. And then Russell freaking Westbrook drains a half quarter, and you're like, okay, surely the bad luck is up. We're about to return to normal.
I just want to say, like, I feel like defending the Blazers is so much easier now than with Damian Lillard because
oh,
Jeremy-
really? Is the sky blue, Cody?
okay, I know, but like such a big factor because okay, we're 13th rated offense. I'm just thinking about it from a logical standpoint. Anthony Simons is ISO player. Jeremy Grant is either catch and shoot or ISO player, and he's an all right ISO player in the mid range. But you have
Wait,
Dame.
I have
you
a
have
question. If
Dame-
you're not catch and shoot or ISO, then what are you?
Okay, just let me. He's both. He's both. We'll say he's both. My point is, when Dame
He's
is
a
on the
basketball
floor,
player.
Dame is on the floor driving, getting double teams, moving it to Simons, who's another quick player. Like their defense is just getting tired when Dame is out there, and without Dame, they're kind of just, sitting back. And
Hey,
we need Dame.
let's hope we're not having like this is the final time on the podcast we are having a conversation about what life is like without Dame. Like we're gonna do this when Dame comes back. By the next Wednesday, we're gonna be talking about what we are doing with Dame, coming off a nice win, having a nice break. We're gonna be bringing out. I don't know. I'm gonna shut up now, but
We'll have 2 games before the next podcast. Only 2. So Utah and Indiana. Are we going 2-0? Are we going 1-1? Or are we going 0-2, guys? What's happening?
I'm going 0-2.
You're going 0-2. No, you just said we're gonna win both of these. What? Like
I'm
10
looking
minutes
at
ago.
this. This is I see 2 scenarios here. I see a hard fought win in Utah, and I see we just blitz the Pacers early. I also see Lauri Markkanen being an MVP and Halliburton dropping 30 and 20.
here,
Okay.
this is my answer to the question, Cody. Given we're about to embark on an 11-game win streak, these 2 will be wins because it started again.
Like
The
I
win
said,
streak starts on Saturday.
Let me just say
Bucket.
this. If we beat Utah, we're beating Indiana. That's fact.
And if we beat Indiana, we're beating Denver. And it's
No, we're
a
not.
snowball effect at this point.
no, that's not happening. But
Yeah,
Do you
if we beat
remember
Utah, we're
that
for
the
sure
Bl-
beating Indiana. We're
You
not
remember the
gonna
Blazers. Sorry, go ahead.
we're not gonna beat Utah and then lose Indiana. If we lose to Utah, we can beat Indiana, but we're not gonna beat the Jazz and then lose to Indiana. Not happening.
So it's either 2-0, 1-1, or 0-2 is basically what you're saying.
No, it's either
That's what you just said. You said
no,
hear me out. Correct me if I say something wrong.
no. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. You say if we beat Utah, we're not going to beat, or we're going to beat Indiana.
Yeah,
That's
so
the
we're
2-0. Yes, that's what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you said if we lose to Utah, we can still beat Indiana, but we can also lose to Indiana. Therefore, that covers the 1-1 and the 0-2.
Well, technically, but not really the second. Okay, I'm confused. Wait,
I am
no.
too.
No. Let me just say this. Sorry, one more time. If we beat Utah, we are for sure beating Indiana. So 2-0. If we lose to Utah, then I'm saying it's a lower percent chance. I'm saying okay. No, here's how I say it. There is a 6% chance we go 2-0, and then like a 33 divided by 2 for the other two combinations. That's what I'm saying. We have a better chance of going 0-2 or 2-0 than the other. Just from a mentality standpoint.
Okay.
From
All right. Anyway.
I'm so.
Oh God, they're back-to-back games. Never mind. We're going 0-2. God, they're back-to-back.
Ooh, the Lakers just waived Matt Ryan.
He was the
They're
MVP.
winning
He
now.
got them the game winner. No, he didn't.
They did.
Wow.
Can we talk about how Braun actually thinks he's him from the 3-point line, which is a really ironic thing to say after he just went like 6 of 8, but that's two games against the Blazers this year where he thinks he can do some like heat check something from 3 and just completely airballs.
I mean, he's Braun. He can do what he wants, but at the same
Yeah.
time, that's kind of laughable.
Are we just not playing defense? And is that why everyone's shooting well against us? I'm like, I don't feel like. I don't know.
No, I think I'm sorry, but you cannot run a lineup. And at this point, Chauncey has to, but you can't run a lineup of Grant. You're talking about 4
We are
people
1 and
on the
9 in our
court
last
that
10.
are probably their second or first position is center. In Winslow, in Grant, Watford, and Nurk. Like, especially down the stretch in the Clippers game, you had to put another shooter out there. I don't care how like young he is. Like Shaedon Sharpe had to be playing over Watford down the stretch there because he at least can catch and shoot.
What was that? Simons was alone out there at the end.
You were and it sucks for Simons because he was going off that game. And he was like 9 for 11 from 3 at one point. And then by the end of the game, we're so bad. And he's just chucking threes down the stretch and he ends 9 for 16 and it doesn't look as good of a night. I know it's like that's still a really good night because it's over 50% from 3, but
it's interesting.
At the end of the day, we just don't have shooters, man. And I feel like when Dame comes back, like I didn't feel like we didn't have shooters at the beginning of the year is basically what I'm saying. But like when Dame comes back, I realize now we don't have shooters.
You know what's crazy? It's ever since Hassan Whiteside said we got shooters, we haven't had shooters.
Well, we had Gary Trent.
We have okay.
Norm's technically a shooter.
Okay, if you're saying technically, then he's not. Roko's not a shooter, and CJ needed 20 shots to score 20 points.
He's a shooter.
We did not have shooters. Yeah, CJ's not a shooter.
Okay,
CJ's a shot maker.
CJ's a shooter. Come on, bro. Really?
CJ's a shooter. He's not a
Dame's a shooter. Norm's a shooter. Our defense cost us the last year, not our shooter.
Hey, are you taking as a shooter? Are you taking CJ? Or are you taking like Michael Porter Jr.?
I guess
what is Michael Porter Jr. even up to right now, guys? I don't even know. He's back from his injury. He's on Denver. What I mean, I'm asking what numbers is he putting?
Saying like
straight up, I'll take CJ, but like I don't know. I haven't been following him, I guess.
You're dumb. But just like as a shooter, it's just like that. Anyway, point is we don't. It's tough because Nurk is in the paint. Ironically enough, Nurk's having a ridiculous season from 3.
I don't care. Stop shooting them.
Sure, they don't go in.
Like,
well,
the only time he should be shooting them is if it's the end of the shot clock. First off, why is he out of the paint in the first place? Like, why?
Because he wants to get back on defense Because
You
he's
know
tired.
what else?
What?
Because he's tired.
Again, I'm getting frustrated, but these things keep popping in my head. Another thing I don't like about Nurk, my man tries to draw fouls too much. It's like you're 7 feet. If you're gonna try to throw your arms in there and flop a little bit, you're 290, dog. You're not gonna get that call. You're not a guard. You're not a quick twitch guard who can change direction and draw contact. He's trying to like draw an arm foul on Dennis Schroeder, dude. Go through him.
Yeah.
Pause.
I don't know what I kind of thinking about Nurk. Just like maybe correct me if you guys think I'm wrong, but I don't know. It just feels like he's not, I guess, into it, as much as other players. I guess mentality wise, maybe he just sits out a lot. He delayed coming back from his injury a lot. I don't know. You know what I mean? Or like I'm talking about his wrist injury. Like he was cleared to come back. It was
When was
found
the
that-
wrist injury? Was that last year or was that 2 years ago?
I don't know. I just feel like
I agree. I feel
I
like
don't
he's
know.
like
just
when he first got to Portland, he was like
want
trying
it
to
more.
he
Be
was trying to
mad.
prove himself, and it felt like he was the energy guy, but like he doesn't bring energy anymore. It's very rare nights that he does. Like we say, like you'll have a good Nurk game and you'll have a bad Nurk game, but like a good Nurk game at this point isn't like the one like his best game of the season was it that first Suns game when he was really kind of going toe to toe with Ayton. I feel like he gets up for like the big matchups, but
I just want
that
to see more
statement
fire in
is proven
Except
false
Bam
tonight
80.
because AD's a pretty big matchup and
Yeah.
he was literally in his pocket tonight.
I mean, Nurk's known to be sort of emotional, kind of hated around the league and other players. But I just I'm seeing less of that, I guess, compared to previous years. I don't know. Just a quick little thought.
He's got almost like too much. I don't know if this is the right word, but like too much swag. Like he just thinks he is like
Him.
He thinks he's him when like just let your play do the
Yeah.
talking and like shut up. I don't know. No, I don't mean that, but
well, some players get going with that. Like
Yeah.
some players use like a little bit of an ego, a little bit of like swagger and coolness to like get themselves going. I just don't think that I don't know what Nurk does get him going. Like that's him. He can speak for himself. But like as a fan and as from a fan's perspective, it's difficult to like watch him like think he's all this and then smoke layups. Like I just feel like if you want the freedom to act like that guy, then you need to play like that guy. So,
I guess that
and
makes sense.
he's not playing like that guy. And if he is, it's super inconsistent, which is a lot of the Blazers right now. Like outside of Jeremy Grant, it's the inconsistent show over there in Portland.
Do you think Nurk like practices on his layups in practice?
Do I think Nurk practices?
Oh, seriously. Because you got to think like
I think Nurk is just
do you think he
concerned with
knows like he's a
contact.
really bad finisher?
Probably, but also I don't think he's gonna let that phase him. Like I don't think he probably just ignores it. He probably hears it, but he ignores it. And I think he misses a lot of layups because he's like shies away from, or he's just so concerned with where the opposing player is. And maybe that's a product of injuries in the past and not being 100% there mentally and trusting yourself, or it's just from a fact that he thinks he's him and can do whatever he wants. Like
I don't know.
in order to impact the game, honestly, like I have more faith in Drew Eubanks at the rim than Nurk, and the stats back that up. But it's just crazy to say.
Yep.
I got
That's-
something. It might not be as wild as I think it is, but do you think in like the long term like view of this season, do you think this 1-7 stretch is like a good thing? Because do you think
No.
it's better to get exposed? It's better to get exposed to our flaws now than it is in the playoffs, because I gotta say, if we kept up what we were doing, then I would have said I was a proponent of like, let's not make any changes. This team's good. I don't know. Like maybe we are still
weird.
good. We just need our guys back.
It's weird because it's like
hard.
like this team's ceiling is obviously we saw it. They can go 9-3. And we're looking at the floor. Obviously no Dame, so it's hard to compare. But even the games where Dame was out, like this roster looked competent at times. Maybe it's just a rut. Maybe it's just opposing teams like turning up against us in these games like recently. I
I
don't
think
know
it's
if
a
it's a good
mix
or
of a
bad thing.
couple things.
I think it's
I
It's
think it's a
obviously
couple-
not a good thing, but like, is there at least a little silver lining?
well, it's kind of like, oh, it was like is a good thing that this team got knocked out of the playoffs because now they can use that for next year and now
Mhm.
they can actually take that leap as opposed to like, for example, it was not good necessarily in the long term that the Hawks went to the Eastern Conference Finals
Mhm.
because they haven't gotten back there since and they thought they were them. Like, I think it's good because it resets.
You want to know what I wish the Blazers did? I wish the Blazers thought they were them after the Western Conference Finals run, because they didn't, and they thought Hassan Whiteside would make them, but they were
Well,
already
the
them with
Nurk
Seth Curry
again.
and
I'll
all their
say
guys.
it. That Nurk
That's
injury set this franchise back a couple years.
I mean, okay,
because-
I feel like the reason, just in general, just going to this season, like how we can start so hot and now just suck this bad. I think luck is a huge factor because in the beginning we were talking about all these buzzer beaters, all these close games, and how we probably shouldn't be 10-4, but we are. And now it's kind of it's unfortunate, but it has turned the tables in the complete opposite. Like you said, we have Norman Powell, Wananabe having these unreal outlier factor games. Couple that, and here's a big part. Couple that with just Dame being out and injured. Like just the facilitation Dame brings to this team. Dame averages 7 assists. You know who's next in line? Simon's at 4.
Yeah.
Like that's a huge difference. And so I think injuries and I'll say it luck are just the reasons for that. But
Yeah.
wow, like I said, those odds are just crazy how we can start up here and literally go here. Like,
Think we can still hit 50, Cody?
no, we're done. Out of the question. I'll be happy
If
with
we wanted to
40,
win
like,
50, what's the what do you have to? How many losses do you have if you have 50 and 32?
Yeah,
we
so
can
you,
do it.
you get 21 more losses.
We basically gotta go 2-1 the rest of the year.
You got to go 39 and 21.
Not happening, but
We could go 2-1 every game.
no, we can't unless we have Dame back. If we have no injuries, then we actually can.
That's what
Second night.
weren't we doing that at 9 and 3?
Yeah.
No, that's 3 and 1.
Yeah, that's
every
even
game.
better.
And that's when we had Dame. So
Yeah.
Look,
So-
Damian Lillard, people. Damian Lillard, the all-star, top 10 player in the league when he's hot, top 5 player in the league when he's
Top
hot.
10 player when he's hot, top 10 player in the league.
Top
Top
10
5 when he's
pure-
hot.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Top 5, top 10 player in the league, top 5 when he's hot. MVP candidate in the beginning of the season.
Hey,
Before he got
when
hurt,
Dame
we need him
when-
back, boys.
when Dame is scorching hot, he's gonna have a week where he's averaging like 40 something. He's a top 10 player. He's a top 5 player. He's a top 2 player. He had 2.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't go to the Charlotte game because we always bring bad luck, and Dame's gonna shoot like absolute trash, like he always does.
Oh.
When we go,
No. That's Dame's already out that game.
Oh yeah, he signed up for the load management.
Yeah.
He's turning into LeBron.
Did I not share the sign up sheet with you?
Oh no! Who's out next game, Cole? Who's out next game?
Um,
I heard Nurk was out.
believe it or not, I think Chauncey's taken one of his vacation days.
Really?
Oh,
No,
kidding.
I heard True Eubanks is going to Cabo.
Yeah,
with
he's
his
going with
family.
Chauncey.
Yeah.
We're being out of pocket at this point.
Yeah.
It's funny jokes. I just
Hey,
we just wish
Cabo,
everyone to get healthy.
Cabo, back spasms, Cabo, same thing. You know? Yeah.
You just got to
Yeah.
read between the lines. That's funny. Yeah. Well, hopefully we can just get healthy because we need the guys on the floor.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well,
Love to see GP2 soon.
yeah. I think that's
That's all
we
I
got.
got. I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired too, but this was not what we were planning to do for the podcast because honestly, I was kind of thinking we were going to win tonight, but we
Love the faith.
just know we're about to start that 11-game win streak we were talking about. Hopefully, we pray, but hopefully, just Dame
Hey,
comes back
you
as
think-
soon as possible.
Sorry, last thing. When do you guys think Keon's getting back from Cabo?
I don't know. No, he's not in Cabo. He's in Miami.
Dude, can you believe that? Literally, like 2.5 weeks ago. Josh Hart hit a buzzer beater in Miami.
Okay, no, I'm gonna say one more thing. Do you guys think if these guys were in college, I guess, like you can't really do that, but like let's say they're in college, they're not in the NBA, they're not getting paid. Are they sitting out these games?
I don't
Fair,
know.
very fair question,
I'm
man.
just throwing it.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
just
well,
tossing
okay,
out
well,
there.
Okay, for like
no,
you gotta
I'm
think
not.
Keon's actually hurt. He's not
No,
sitting
no, yeah.
out 3 weeks.
Look. We're
Not
we're not
him.
we're not load managing. The only one that you could say like we're taking our sweet
Yeah, it's
sweet
Gary.
time is Gary. Everyone else is legit injured, so I don't want anyone to think we're like clowning these guys. But it's a good point you bring up, Cody, because I think of load managing as like not going to work. Kawhi Leonard gets paid millions and millions of dollars to go to work 20% of the time, if that. Kawhi's just cashing checks as he sits on the bench.
He's got a ring and he thinks that's all he needs. Well, it is all he needs in this world, but whatever, bro. You do you, Kawhi.
Yeah. You do you, man. The Clippers could have needed you last night when you were down 18. Oh, wait, they won.
Dang.
Well,
That's it. I'm done.
be on the lookout for next when. Maybe we'll start promoting our new shirt that we're gonna drop for Christmas because we're not gonna promote it now while the Blazers stink. But if you're listening on Spotify, thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, give it a like and subscribe, and go follow all the social medias because
Go Blazers.
that's where you find us. Peace.
Go Blazers.